Now continuing with the chapter Democracy, Participation of People. According to the 16th President of the USA, Abraham Lincoln, democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now he basically says that the supreme power lies with the people. We are the superior. We are not individually, but as a community as a whole, we are on the superior authority. Now it also implies that a democratic government should work for the welfare of the people. People's participation is very important for the success of democracy. It does not mean that everyone participates in it directly, but that everyone has the right and duty to participate in it directly or indirectly. अब हमारा participation is there, चाहे वो directly हो चाहे वो indirectly हो. Now how can citizens participate in the government? In a democracy, an important means for people to exercise their political power is election. All adult men and women vote to elect their representatives. In doing so, they are indirectly participating in the governance of the country. Now we elect our representatives, and the representatives elect the head. That's how, and mostly the mota election works. So we are indirectly participating in the governance of the country. The elected ones take part in the government directly, but on behalf of the entire community. Now, people not only elect their government but also control it. The policies of the government are bound to reflect the wishes of the people, that is the public opinion. And if the government does not do so, what we can if we are not satisfied with the government, we can remove it in the next elections. So public opinion matters. One can play an important role in shaping the destiny of the country. Elections and public opinion are two important tools of the democracy with which people can fulfill their responsibility. Now the most important feature of democracy is the rule of law. It means that all are equal before the law. Now, however powerful a person may be, she is bound by the law of the country. The rule of the law also provides protection to all individuals against social evils such as untouchability, child marriage, and other forms of discrimination. Now, according to the rule of law, all are equal in the eyes of the law. चाहे वो जितना पावरफुल हो, no one can discriminate on the basis of caste, creed, race, or gender. There should be no distinction between the rich and the poor, the educated or the uneducated. And the rule of the law, it protects people from various social evils. Now, unlike in absolute monarchy or dictatorship where the king, queen or the dictator is the lawgiver, in a democracy it is the people who make laws for themselves. It may be done directly by the people themselves or indirectly through their representatives. In our country, it is the parliament constituted by the representatives of the people which makes laws for us. Similarly, the state assemblies make laws for the states. So in our country, who makes the laws? In our country, it is the parliament who makes the laws, and state assemblies make laws for the states. And in parliament also, it is the representatives of the people. So whether it is directly or indirectly, we have an important part to play in the formation of a government. Now democracy gives not only political liberty but also economic and social liberty. In other words, the values of democracy such as justice, freedom and human dignity should be deeply embedded not only in the political system but also in the social and economic life of the people. The right to vote is not enough to establish democracy. There should be a democratic society and an economic democracy to make it really meaningful. Only then we can call it a complete democracy. Now, then comes the case study. You can read the case study by yourself, and if there is any question or any doubt, you can ask me. Now, coming to democratic society. By the way, the case study is mainly on Nepal, so it won't be a big problem if you read, and if you come across any doubt, you can ask me. Now, democratic society. Political democracy means people's right to elect and remove their rulers, but the social life of the people can still be filled with various forms of injustice. तो मतलब हम उनके पॉलिटिकल राइट्स को तो सेव कर सकते हैं, बट द सोशल इनजस्टिस हैज़ टू बी क्योर्ड. There are various kinds of injustice and caste system which are not socially, justified. Thus, a democratic government becomes meaningful only if the society is democratic. No distinction of any kind in a democratic society. Now, evils like caste system and untouchability spoil the democratic structure of the society. In a democratic society, all men and women should be treated equally, should have equal opportunities for growth and development, and no one should get more privileges than others on the basis of religion, caste, race, or place of birth. No one should be denied equal opportunities. Now, caste system and untouchability, तो चलो वो पहले के थे, अब इतना प्रेवलेंट नहीं है, बट now the upper classes and the lower classes are a very big say, so we should abolish them. In a democratic society, these social injustice should not prevail. Thus, a democratic society should be able to remove all these social differences. Once all men and women would become equal socially, they will also be equal politically. Thus, a true democratic government is possible only with a democratically organized society. Now, coming to economic democracy. All members of society should have equal economic opportunities. All should be free and self-reliant in matters of earning their livelihood. अब इसमें इकोनॉमिक डेमोक्रेसी में आता है कि सबको सेम अमाउंट ऑफ मनी मिलना चाहिए क्या? नो, इट मीन्स दैट सबको सेम इकोनॉमिक अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ मिलनी चाहिए, और टू सेट अप देयर ओन बिजनेस. नो वन शुड बी should be given more economic opportunities. Everyone should be given the same amount of economic opportunities or the chance to set up their own businesses. People have right against exploitation. No employer can exploit his employees, or no landlord can exploit his workers. Equal wages should be given for equal work. No distinction between men and women. If wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few, there can be no economic justice. Liberty and equality are the two basic principles of democracy. Individual freedom and equal opportunities are necessary conditions for a democracy to be successful. Depriving someone of her or his means of livelihood goes against the very ideal of economic democracy. It denies one's right to equal opportunities and economic growth. Thus, a democratic government will be meaningful only if its citizens are provided with social equality and free economic growth.